Stay tuned for the best of Spreaker on Spreaker FM 88.9, KSPR LP-FM, Clinton. And now, Gary J in the morning.
stuck here in my clothes. I'd like to join you, baby, but you know, all my buttons are frozen. And you can't get no loving at 40 below. 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 Can't get no loving when you're stuck in a permanent depression. You can't get no loving when you're stuck in a permanent depression.
Yeah, can't get enough of that. 40 Below, Patio and the Lanterns, new emerging artist on GJRB all the time. Yeah, hello everyone. Good morning across America, from the West Coast, from Portland, Oregon, all the way down into San Diego coastline, all the way to the Mexican border, wherever you're listening. You know what I'm saying? Got all the great music for you. We're broadcasting all over the USA, but we're also looking up our western neighbors, our people listening out in Arizona, all the way down into the Texas Panhandle, even people listening in the Central, the Mountain, the Pacific, Alaska time, even Hawaii. Wherever there's people listening. And I hope you'll stay with me for some great music in the morning, talk. Weather on the fives, give you temperatures all the way across the nation. Man, got some really nasty weather out in the southern part of our midsection, especially in Oklahoma and Kansas. Some pretty nasty weather in those areas. We'll take a look at the weather on the fives coming up. Plus a lot of other great music coming your way here on GJRB Online. This is Jeremy Darnold from Chicago. It's Tomorrow and Forever.
I'll see another day, and we're through going our own way. So tomorrow, it's just another day, and we'll borrow another day. With time, we'll see each other through, and you're mine, but what am I to do? My pain, it's yesterday's news. My game, I got you. So we'll walk through these fields, and we'll feel the summer rays, the wild weed and camille. They'll soon be together again. A bloom of your finest colors, in tune with all the flowers. This weed will let you go through in this need to grow with you. So now this time has come for us to get this done. Your seed will find its way through this weed that tangled you. So we'll walk through these fields, and we'll feel the summer rains, the wild weed and camille. They'll soon be together again. They'll soon be together again. They'll soon be together again.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hang on a second while I turn down my one back monitor. Hang on a second here, folks. Oh boy, too much FM static. That is annoying to a certain degree when I'm broadcasting over my 9-foot FM closed circuit signal for in the neighborhood. Can you hear it on 88.9 megahertz on the FM radio dial. 9-foot signal around our Spreaker studios on KSPR Spreaker FM 88.9 on the FM dial, and many other fine FM signals. We'll be flipping signals at around about 12:30, going off here, flip signals off, and then we're going to go into our other FM signal, 107.1 Memories, 107.1. That is a nostalgia station playing music of your life and adult standards and old time radio. And I'm going to bring you another edition of Radioland. Got some great programs, including Blondie and Dagwood. Got a program called it was a good show, as a matter of fact, called The Whistler. And it's a great compare this show to like The Shadow, which is another great classic radio program. The Whistler was absolutely fabulous. And we'll have that one coming up. X-1, Dimension X, 2 science fiction shows. Got some good old-time radio this afternoon on GJRB Online, so tune in for that. We got a lot of other good stuff, so I hope you'll stay with me today. We got some music, and we're just kind of shifting around. It's just freestyle. It's what I call spontaneous programming. In other words, I'm going to try to be on every day, but you won't know what show we're going to have on, because I'm trying to come up with a better, decent radio schedule for Spreaker here, GJRB Online, especially when we pump up to that 3-hour plan. I'm going to want to broadcast consistently with different programs that originate from GJRB, including scheduling stuff like rebroadcast of Radio Land or rebroadcast of Way Out There the last 7 days with our Bible studies, our church services, and stuff like that, because it's getting to a point where I don't always have time to upload those puppies. I have to edit them and splice them down. And I've been recording the church services off my little ICR voice recorder, and you get little extra voices of whispering, and it's annoying. So I'm going to be. I got a friend of mine who I'm going to work in the board a little bit with the church's sound, because I was a sound man at our previous church. So I'm going to probably be going back to that soon. And when I do, I'll be able to broadcast the church services. And we're talking about doing a live church service broadcast stream from our Church of Christ here in Clinton. And as a matter of fact, GJRB Online will also be getting an additional studio located at the church as well. So we're going to have 2 studios, the one here and internet connection at the other church, which will be Studio 2, which will be the church studio. And my friend Brian Harrison, who is also, it doubles also as recording too, because he wrote a lot of fabulous Christian songs, and we've been talking about him recording an album, because I think this guy is absolutely fabulous. And I'll throw in a song from him, so maybe Brian want to listen to, Mike might want to listen to it. As a matter of fact, I'll try to throw that on a little later on. One of his songs, a couple of his songs are really good. So stay tuned for those, Brian Harrison. We got a lot of really good stuff, so I hope you'll stay right by your radio. I'll tell you a story about these guys. Brian and Neil, they're good friends of mine here in Clinton, and their last name is Harrison, and they used to get calls at their house, and they get calls asking for George Harrison. There's their George in their family. But girls would call up their house and ask for George Harrison. Just their mother, I guess, would go with, I don't know how they handle it, but it's funny that they told me that story. All right, got some more good stuff coming up here on GJRB Online. Gary J in the morning, waking you up here for the West Coast and all around the area. It's still the morning. Technically, it's 18 minutes after 10 o'clock Central Daylight Time, after 11 o'clock in the East, and after 9 o'clock Mountain Time. And yeah, who said, was that somebody who said that Arizona had 2 time zones? Yeah, I guess so, because I think that is the national date line goes through there. That's kind of weird, I know. I've been in the Pacific Coast going through the national date line. I think there's another state that has 2 time zones. And if I'm not mistaken, it might be Colorado, but I could be wrong. Because I went through Colorado and Wyoming, you kind of cross. And it's weird because their TV, their primetime television, if you miss the one show, I think it would be great to live there. Because if you miss one show in the primetime lineup, like let's say like back in the day, Thursday night, this is like 80s, okay, when I went to, I was on that side of the coast, and I missed Family Ties, and I love Family Ties. So here it is again, like about an hour later, I was stationed out of, I think it was Denver. It might have been Denver, had it on. I'm going, that is wild, man. It's like really cool. I was like in this motel room, I'm like, this is wild. I could actually watch. If I miss one show, you wait an hour, you'll see it again. It's pretty weird. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the program. We got some really good stuff coming up, and got a lot of really good music. And we play a variety of new emerging artists and your familiar favorites, too. So we hope we'll keep you here on GJRB Online. and we'll have all that good stuff for you. And weather in the news, got some real disturbing weather out south of us. Matter of fact, I got a sister-in-law who lives in Kansas, so I wonder how they're doing, because I know that Kansas is one of them. It was getting, I think they're more closer to Topeka. They were getting some pretty nasty storms there. Oklahoma had some twisters. It's like, oh man, we've been fortunate that we have not been caught up in that. Although we're going to get some severe weather south of us. Let's see. From, I think, down in Burlington and up in the south of us, they're going to get some severe weather. And, by the way, before I get any further, Mike is on with us. Mike Myers was called me early this morning before I went on the air, and he was telling me which states has split into 2 time zones. Oregon. Almost all of Oregon is on Pacific time. Kansas, only a small sliver is in the far western border of Kansas, uses Mountain Time. Nebraska, in the western portion of Nebraska, on the Mountain Time, which I believe is right because I've been through Nebraska. North Dakota, in a small southwestern section of... North Dakota, in a small southwestern section of North Dakota, Mountain Time, and the rest. Yeah, and I think... I don't know, Utah, is that part of it too? I know that there's a friend of mine, she is a DJ here on Spreaker, and she's from North Florida. And that is Debbie Scott, the Debbie Scott Radio Network. She is up, I think, around Fort Walton Beach, up in that area around. There's part of Florida. And I didn't know that. She told me part of Florida is on Central Time Zone. Part of Florida is in the Central Time Zone. And I'm going, how is that possible? But then maybe it is. I don't know. What about Alabama in that? So that's kind of interesting. All right. I'll tell you what we're going to do right now. I'm going to get ready for Weather on the 5. That is where we do the weather and give you the whole scoop on what's going on in the national weather. And let's see here. We're going to do that right now. I'm going to turn it down a little bit so I don't scare anybody with this. But this is my sounder for weather. And give you our weather on the 5s. And give you our nationwide weather. Like I said earlier, we're going to get some severe weather here. But it's mostly going to be south of us. Around Burlington and Mount Pleasant. Down in that area. But around here, it's not going to be too bad. We're looking at... I want to go down to where I have the... weather, national weather summary. But let's see, we have here. Didn't have that ready, did I? Yeah, that's Gary Russin for you. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fire that guy. Anyway, all right, we're gonna have to find that weather, the national weather. But I know for a fact that most of the southern part of our country, especially in Oklahoma and Texas, are on a risk for severe weather. And what we'll do is later on in the next hour, we will go over to the Weather Nation, and I will broadcast and see what they're following. Weather Nation will be bringing you weather next hour, brought to you by Weather Nation. And you can get Weather Nation on Roku, on Fire Stick, and other great places. Weather Nation. That's also Weather Nation available on Pluto TV. So check out on your Roku box, Pluto TV and Weather Nation. 24/7 weather from some great weather sources across America. And there's so many weather channels out there. I mean, you guys still got the Weather Channel. You still got Weather Nation. And let's see, who else? Weather Nation, and there's another one called there's like 2 or 3 of them. I think one is But they got several. But anyway, Weather Nation is the one I use the most, and they're fabulous. So we'll check that out, Weather Nation, and we'll have the weather summary for you nationally next hour. Weather on the 5s, 25 and 45 minutes past the hour on all music shows, 25 and 55 on all talk shows, or any time in the hour that ends in 5, 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, past the hour. Weather on the 5s. Right here on GJRB Online, right here on Spreaker. You know it. And I got some more really good music coming your way here on GJRB Online, so stay tuned to Gary J in the morning. You know it, man. Yeah, that's where it's at. Yeah, this is one of our good friends, Wayne Whiteside. Gonna get some blues in there this morning. Get jamming, worried about my heart on GJRB. Yes, sir. You know it.
My hangover this morning is really not that bad. I got ways of getting through this. I start talking to my cat. But we ain't decided what to do. But my cat's getting nervous. You know she's worried about my heart. The only one here now, and she's scared it's gonna stop. She has to listen to me, and she'd like to go to sleep. On the floor, I'm amazed at what this did to me. I never thought she'd leave, but there's a lie I have to live with, lie I must believe. I can still hear her screaming why. She's not the one that lays, she's the one that cries.
Here's your news from Reuters TV. From Reuters TV, here are today's top stories.
A major setback for Trump in his fight against Congress.
Sri Lanka's Catholics mark 1 month since the deadly Easter bombings.
New Zealand police filed their first charge of terrorism ever.
And those are some of the stories coming up throughout the morning here. Other news stories include President Trump. They're still after his records. They're still trying to get after his financial records. We'll have that story. They're still going to do that. Mike McGahn talks about Congress that Jay Sekulow knew Cohen's testimony on Trump Tower was false. Ooh, it's getting heated up, folks. Yeah, they just keep on doing that. It's just, last night I was, before I went to bed, I was listening to our big fat soft underbelly. And boy, was he sounding, oh man. The last podcast, I'm listening to I'm in the middle of one, because I was dozing off. I was in the middle of his most recent podcast. John's podcast, our big fat soft underbelly. Man, was he ticked? Oh man, was he flying off the handle? He was, boy, I tell you what, when he gets fired up, look out. Big fat soft underbelly, check it out, man. He is great, and the podcast just gets better and better. And I guess he's making some changes, but absolutely fabulous. Wow. We got some more news coming up. I'll give you full details pretty close to the top of the hour. Bottom of the top of the clock to keep you on top, and that is what we do. GJRB Online News. I'm Gary J. Russin at the GJRB News Desk. Got some more good stuff coming your way. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back and have some more good stuff for you here on Gary J. in the Morning. Got Radio Land coming up a little later. We'll give you more details on some of those great programs. Hope you're enjoying the show. The Gary Russin program, Gary J. in the Morning on the GJRB Online Network.
Imagine one day checking around on your internet radio only to find a station playing old radio programs complete with commercials and thinking, what am I tuning into? The past? You might be, or it's just GJRB Online and Radio Land. A day of nothing but classic radio shows back to back with classic commercials in between. Like the days of radio. Almost like your computer is picking up signals through time. Closer than you'll ever get to time travel. Radio Land.
Coast to coast and way out there, fans. Listen up. If you like UFO conspiracies, ghosts, and the paranormal, you'll love Spaced Out Radio. Spreaker's answer to Coast AM with more interesting guest experts.
Rain shower activity will get 2 batches today. The first here this morning will be dry for the midday, and then thunderstorms will be possible this evening. I think any strong act will remain to the south of the Quad Cities. Our high temperatures, depending on how much rain we get, looks like mid and upper 50s. A dry sky for tomorrow. We go up into the 80s. Find out if that lasts on the 8-day forecast. Go to WQ80.com. I'm Storm Track 8 meteorologist Eric Sorensen. Stay dry today.
Currently 49 degrees.
This is the best of Spreaker. Spreaker FM 88.9.
A million miles of desert land, and I have learned to be free. And I have walked the shadowlands of Egypt, and I have learned to be free. And I have held the mane of untamed horses, and I have learned to be free. And I have walked I have looked to the face of injustice, and I have learned to be free, and I have known the price of love, given all I have for a moment's time with you, and I have died 1,000 times, and I have known the price of love, given all I have for a moment's time with you, and I have died 1,000 times, and I
Wow, her name is Heather Clark. Great song. She is out of Canada. Actually, she is from an area in Canada called Kamloops. Kamloops. Kamloops, Canada. And one of our newest emerging artists. We've been playing her for a while. We haven't had her song on there for a while, but it's in my recurrence rundown. And of course, like I say, I play all new emerging artists, and I've tried doing my own chart system, which I'm thinking about doing with a lot of my emerging artists, because there's so many that I could play. And really, I picked some of the best ones and put them in my heavy rotation, and those get played like currents in the song rotation throughout the day. And when we do it here, and right now I'm working on how many times in a day I play it. You know, I get some songs that play maybe every 2 hours. Some songs that are newer play maybe every 2.5 to 3 hours. As long as I'm going to be on the air here on GJRB Online, it'll be rotated like that. And the biggest songs get played once an hour, or what would be like about every hour and a half, kind of like that. But this song is a recurrent too. I played this for quite some time. The guy who sings this, as a matter of fact, I'm going to play this here in a couple of minutes. I'm going to why don't we do this? Weather on the 5s, anytime in the hour it ends in 5. So we'll do Weather on the 5 about 5 minutes before the hour of 11. So about 10:55. But this guy, I had him on my show on Saturday, on the Gary Russell program, Saturday Extra. We were talking a lot about interesting things in the news, what's been happening, how it seems like the crooks are taking over the government. And we had a great conversation. We talked about all kinds of stuff from parallel realities and junk like that. It was a lot of fun, and I had a great interview with him. But he was a singing artist too. He did some songs, and this is Ben Usman Osun. He's from my home area, Pittsburgh, just around Pittsburgh area there somewhere. He's up from Beaver County. And this is a song called Home. Ben Usman on GJRB.
Trying to find a little piece of heaven, so I try to get mine. I keep walking, I'm walking way back home. And I've been thinking about all the little things I couldn't do without. So I keep walking, I'm walking all alone. Sometimes it's just so hard to understand just what it means when you're caught up in the pressure and there's no remedy. I keep walking, I'm walking all alone. And I've been searching through my days and dreams, over all the hilltops and below all the seas, and I've been walking way back home, and I've been feeling some sort of way, trying to share the loving that I feel today, and I keep walking way back home. Sometimes it's just so hard to understand just what it means when you're caught up in the pressure where there's no remedy. I keep walking, I'm walking all alone. So come and join me, cut out the pain and strife, let me introduce you to the ultimate life. Keep walking, we'll find our way back home. Yeah, I'm feeling some sort of way, trying to share the loving that I feel today. Walking way back home, yeah.
Actually, I think that he should record that seriously. I think it's a great song. And we'll play that. We have played Jeremy Darnold already, so we'll play him next hour. Got also Rex Reynolds, and one of the songs that's been a recurrent, kind of slowing down a little popularity on our GJRB charts, and that is C. Norton, and we'll have him coming up. So really good stuff coming up next hour, including classic from the Tubes, One Hit Wonder, and a lot of really good stuff coming up in the next hour. And of course, talking at you. Oh, not talking at you. I'm not going to talk at you. Talking to you. And, of course, always talking to you in the morning on a Tuesday morning on the Gary J. in the Morning Show. This keeps on working. And I get more mornings where I can do this. More than likely, I'll probably be doing more Gary J. in the Mornings programs. But this is the best time because my wife goes to this Bible study with church ladies. And, so great time to kind of do a morning show. So I kind of picked this morning to do it. And I've been doing Gary J. in the Morning since March. So it's been kind of fun. And this has been added in March. I'm going to take a little break and take a program split here and be right back. I've got more great music coming your way on Gary J. in the Morning. Yeah, that's what it is on GJRB Online Network.